Today, I'm going to talk about case law, specifically the difference between binding and persuasive case law, what it means, and what you should think about when you hear that new case law might impact your job. I'm Steve Serbalik, and I'm a panel attorney with ASCOPS in Arizona. In talking with police officers, I often hear stories about some new case, and I'm asked how this case law will impact how officers do their jobs. But many officers don't realize that not all case law is created equally, and understanding the difference between binding and persuasive case law is critical to helping you know how to view different courts' decisions. So today, I'll explain the difference between binding and persuasive case law, why this difference is important, and what you should think about when you hear about some new decision handed down by a court. To start, binding case law comes from a court that has jurisdiction over a particular area. For example, the United States Supreme Court has jurisdiction over the entire country. So when they hand down a decision, it's binding on every officer. For officers here in Arizona, that's also true for the Arizona Supreme Court. But how would a case handed down from, say, the Colorado Supreme Court impact officers in Arizona? The answer, it's persuasive authority. Courts in Arizona may choose to go along with that decision, but they don't have to. This becomes important when you hear about cases in the federal courts of appeal. For example, if the Ninth Circuit decides something, it's binding on officers here in Arizona, because Arizona is in the Ninth Circuit. But it's only persuasive in, say, New York, because New York is in the Second Circuit. So New York officers are bound by decisions of the Second Circuit. But what happens if the Ninth Circuit and the Second Circuit decide the same legal issue in a different way? This means the binding case law would be different for different parts of the country. And this is one of the more common reasons for the United States Supreme Court to get involved, to help make sure that case law is binding and consistent on important questions. So this brings us to the final point, what officers should consider when they hear about new case law. Know that if the court making the decision is far away, unless it's the United States Supreme Court, it's probably only persuasive authority. Good to know, but not binding. But if it's your home state Supreme Court, or if it's your local court of appeals, pay attention, as you are legally required to follow case law from these courts. Finally, as always, if you have questions about case law, seek advice from your department's legal unit or a lawyer like me. We're familiar with the impacts of different courts' decisions, and we can provide help and support. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below and subscribe for more law enforcement lessons. Videos come out every Sunday afternoon. I'm Steve Serbalik. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.